everyone's here. So welcome to today's Active Teaching Lab. Esther and I have already been putting on a little bit of a show today, haven't we? So welcome to Active Teaching Lab today. It's sunny and nice out, very different than most of our Active Teaching Labs this semester where they've been snow or raining. So that's an improvement. Again, if you need help and you're online, and sorry we were taking so long to get started, we had some technical difficulties. But if you need some help online, Kathy Pinkowski is available for you there to ask questions on the YouTube chat. Also, if you have questions in-house as well, Kathy's going to be able to help you, or I'll be able to help out as well. Today, again, if you haven't signed up, we have our Active Teaching Lab course online, and there are instructions for signing up for that course with all of our old handouts and all of connections to our old YouTube videos. That's the sign-up information is available right there on the bottom of the sheet. We also have a YouTube channel, so feel free to go check out CETL, C-E-T-L, Teaching Lab. If you haven't been there already or haven't followed it, you can click and follow, and every time we get a new lab, we always put these videos online, so please check that out as well. And then this week, we're going to talk about student collaboration and peer reviews in Canvas with Esther. And Esther Suarez Felipe is a senior lecturer of Spanish in the Department of Spanish and Portuguese here at UW-Milwaukee. And she teaches a variety of Spanish courses from beginners to advanced levels in both conversation and composition. And she still finds time to mentor instructors and TAs in the teaching in the department. And today she's sharing with us her experience facilitating student interaction and peer mentorship. So thank you so much for being here, Esther.
Thank you.
And please take it away.
Thank you for coming. Good morning.
I'll get that switched.
Someone has to. It's not going to be me. So I have a brief presentation. Even though this is about technology and all these wonderful advances, I chose the lower technology possible I could, because that was the first advice I ever got when hybrid, online, all these things started happening. First training I went to, that's what they told us, and it was great advice. So not only did I choose the easier PowerPoint I could, I actually recycled all the coloring and the whole thing from the last time I did a presentation in January. Just changed the things in there because it was way better than relearning. So basically when I do things, I use Canvas, but I don't do very complicated stuff, mainly because I don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to talk about how I use discussions in a little different way, not to just have full discussions online, but to use it as part of the face-to-face to integrate into what we do in the class. I'm going to go at least to 3 examples, maybe 4, depending on how well I pace myself. Well, I want to thank Lane. I didn't even know that he was preparing this wonderful flyer. I only knew that he was really good at saying what it is that I'm doing. Way better than I am. So I want to share how I use Canvas and how that has improved discussions in class and help students help each other. And I hope everybody, including myself, I already learned something about nasal sacs and jazz, that everybody, I don't know how I'm going to implement that. Oh, I'm going to wear the sacs to class, implement it. I already got my goal, so hopefully you'll get, oh boy, that is not my doing.
It does that.
Oh, okay. That's not part of my low tech. That is part of my low tech, apparently. Oh, I want to have fun. I always want to have fun. Remember the 80s? Some of you, isn't there, what is this woman that with the Cindy Lauper? Yeah, isn't that? Yeah. So most of my discussions that I'm going to tell you about happen in this course. I don't expect you to read all this. This is a course taught in English, so it was perfect to do a presentation for general audiences. And we use food to cover the culture of the Hispanic countries, and those are the goals that we want to accomplish. So the discussions are integrated are part of these assignments that are supposed to work towards students getting some or all of these goals. So this is the first example. This is the one that this is the one that I implemented last semester. And I came to the idea pretty much because I was changing around. They do this individual research on a food item where they have to address pretty much all those goals of summarizing and comparing and looking for cultural celebrations or myths that are attached or related to that food item. And in the past, I had them write a research paper, a brief research paper. This was agonizing for the students. Sometimes it was agonizing for me to read them. It created a lot of anxiety that really was not part of what I wanted. And then they integrated that into a group presentation that they did. And it was becoming quite clear. Every semester, students were talking about had a lot of trouble pulling those research into their recipe for the group activity. So I decided I was going to change that, but I wanted everybody to still know about what each student had learned about whatever, avocados, fish, corn, whatever they had research. So I decided to try to have them do an electronic presentation, and they had to post it. So I graded the composition. I graded and in the composition, well, I got help from Cyril to get to tell them how to post this in Canvas, because it was, I couldn't totally figure out by myself as a student. So they sent me that great link. And the link that you see here about the description and rubric and the basic information, this is just an internal link within the class, within the Canvas site that takes the students to the area where the rubrics are, and they can go and see the rubric. I'm not gonna, if you want to see the rubric, I can go later and show it to you. But I'm gonna show you if you wanna see the grading part of the rubric, I can show it to you. What I'm gonna show you here now is just the basic description of what they had to do. Where is my, I thought there was a description of what they have to do. Oh no, it's here, that is the description of what they have to do, right? They had to prepare an electron, this is what they have. These are the instructions that they got in the rubric, the description of what they have to do. They have to prepare a presentation using PowerPoint or similar program, and they have to include title, author, topic, food item, see? Tell us who they were and what they were. Because in the oral presentations that I used to have about this, sometimes people forgot to tell us what they were talking about. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes they do. They had to include, and this was part of their research, it was already included in the research, that they had to think of 3 questions, at least, that they wanted the people who watched the presentation to be able to answer. So it had to be part of that electronic presentation. They had to mention the origin and how it is consumed and when and by whom. The cultural significance of the food. Sometimes, whether anything, symbolism, legends, celebrations, rituals, because some foods have just festivals about that particular, the harvesting of that particular, like with grapes. That's a popular one in the country, in Spain, Chile, Argentina, any country that has a lot of that produces wine, has grapes, but others are maybe like if someone chose wheat, they could choose the Holy Communion as one of the symbol, or lamb, the sacrificial lamb, whatever. And by the time they have to do this, we've been talking in class and doing readings about all this stuff. And they have to use to compare it with similar to either how that food item was used in their cultures, in their own communities, or traditions that they could think of to compare it with their own experience. So every student was required to do this, and everybody did. Nobody skimped of this because this was 50 points out of the 200 that they have for the research and presentation. Well, 1,000 points total. I decided to go with points because I had a little of those low stake assessments for this class, and I didn't want to give 1 point. I wanted to, so this was, so the content, and they knew, they had to go to review them, and they had like 2 or 3 weeks since they were due until a quiz would happen about this. So because they were included in quizzes and in the final exam, which is also a quiz format that I was doing in D12. I have to move that to Canvas too. The advantages of this is that nobody had to get worried about speaking in public, because most students, like apparently most people in this country, get panicky and whatever. And I don't, because I don't care about you. I'm just here talking. I love my voice. I don't care if you don't understand my accent. It's your problem. No, I don't have that issue, but I know that students do. Like every class where I have oral presentations, I have some students trying to get out of it because they get so nervous or whatever. Usually I only got one case where a student brought a medical excuse to not do that. Overall, they do it and they're alive. So the questions that the students wanted to answer, I used not all of them, but many of the questions that I put in the quiz came from the questions that the students wanted their classmates to answer about their presentations. So that was part of what they had to do when they look at the presentation. They needed to see if they could answer these questions. If they couldn't, for sure they needed to watch it again. But then the students had they weren't in a hurry either to, during class listening and they say something, you spaced out and for 3 minutes you have no idea what happened. With the electronic presentations, it's all there all the time. They can watch it 3 times if they want to, take notes, do snipping, screenshots, whatever they want. I learned because one of the students figured out, one of the students could not upload the PowerPoint. Since she was outside campus, maybe she didn't have, I don't know what she did not have, but it was not happening. And eventually she figured out that she could do a PDF. And then I actually sent an email to everybody telling them, if you're having trouble, apparently PDF was wonderfully. And so I have presentations. It makes no difference for the watcher. I had no idea that you could do that. So that next time I know that PDF, I will mention that. Yes.
A quick question. So if a student submits a PDF presentation, it is, you can see it as
you're gonna see it.
PowerPoint?
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you a little bit of. I'm gonna run really fast through 2 of them. See? Yes.
My students also pointed out that when they're on their phone, it's really difficult to do the PowerPoint, and so they've even requested, like, I don't post a PowerPoint, but instead convert to PDF.
Oh, there you go. See, maybe that was part of the problem that they're using the little machines.
Are they using an app or are they on a browser in the phone?
I think they were in the Canvas app, but I'm not sure.
Okay, cool.
That's a good question.
And then I discovered that I did not have any pressure for the grading either, because I had all the information there all the time. I didn't have to worry that I didn't actually put the grade even though I bring the rubrics with me to the oral presentations, I didn't have to worry if I forgot something. Am I being fair? Did I spaced out with this one and I forgot? I don't like his voice. Did that affect what I heard? Do you know what I mean? So, because it was always there. And it leveled the ground for them too. You could be very shy and it doesn't matter. You can do already. So it was very nice to be able to grade it at and go back and see that everything was there. So maybe I need to change glasses. Maybe I can show you. I'm gonna show you just a little. I'm just gonna roll through them really fast so you see what they did. This is a PowerPoint. No, is this the PowerPoint? Yes. Are you gonna do what I say? No? Oh, why not? Because I have the other one going. It's okay. I'll just run through the things here. Okay. Oh no, it's not happening. Why aren't you happening, stupid? Oops, sorry. My machine knows that that is a term of endearment from me, just for the machine.
Windows P will open up the duplicate sharing panel. Should be able to duplicate them.
Huh, I didn't think, didn't occur to me because I ran it before with no problem, but I wasn't running both of them at the same time. Okay, so this was one of them, for example, see? The nopales held the cultural significance. This is actually, so in case you don't know, now you know that it shows up in the Mexican flag. That's it. These are the nopales. There is a major plant in the whole Mexica Aztec tradition. There you go again. So that's what she did. And then she actually taught her classmates how to clean this if you buy it fresh. And those are the questions that she wanted them to be. And see, because this is the fruit of the nopal. I know how you call that, pear. So prickly pear, I think. Prickly pear is from the same plant. So that was her presentation, for example. See? Now, where are you? Can I, yeah. Go back again. I'm gonna try to show you the PDF. Oh, this is the one that I have to scroll. Yeah. So this one did it about pork. I'm not showing you the first one because I could not get rid of. I could not get rid of her name in PowerPoint. So see now when I watch it, Magali, to answer your question, when I went to watch it, when you go to Canvas to watch it, it moves exactly the same than PowerPoint. If the students hadn't mentioned it, I don't know if I would have noticed that the extension was different.
So
but I saved this. This is a copy that I saved.
So this is a PDF.
This is a PDF.
Oh wow.
See?
Okay.
So this woman did a very good job on totally, because I've got students doing pork in the past and they completely missed the bar. But this woman of why it's important and which countries and how is basically an identity issue with Spaniards. Did a very good job of explaining all those things, address the law that, see, like the Germans with beer, see, this is serious stuff. And she was very thorough, and she also addressed she was unbelievable with showing the whole classification of all these things. And then she also addressed history on pork and how it was used back in, before Spaniards decided to expose, is that a word? To throw out of the country the Jews and the Muslims. The pork was associated, was a big issue for Christians because the other two faiths would not eat it. So she addressed a lot of things that were very good, and then the traditional killing of the pig, which is not exactly done the same way. She was really good, see? And she even addressed the tapas because the ham shows up in the tapas thing all the time. She addressed a lot of stuff and compared it to how it's important for her in her family and her community. And then she had her questions. See? Okay, so that was one of them. Can I go back to where I was? A slide shot from Lane.
Yes.
Mi amor. Oh, from current slide. Oh my God, thank you. No? Oh, those are my kids. Oh my God, I forgot. You need to speak up. I'm sorry.
How long do the students have to prepare?
It's like 8, 7. Well, they do the research for 8 weeks, I think, or 9, and then they have 2 more weeks, I think. But they have all the days from the beginning. Once we start working with the research project, they have the description of the research project, and I can send that to people if you want to, because the dates already of when everything is due. But then I review in class with them and telling them the assignments. And I usually open the discussion like 2 weeks before they're due, because some of them are very, not a lot, but Some of them are very, and I recommend, before they have to prepare this, they have to hand in, also online, but individual word, like a little outline and the sources, and the 3 questions and the sources, and their own reflection on the experience of doing the research. So they have to do, that is due like 2 weeks before this is due. So they have a chance to put things together and they can prepare the presentation. But you want, yeah, I have all the dates if you want to. So, oh no, this was not the, we already went through this. This is another one that I did. This was also part of the, this was part of the research project before, even, I don't know, it's not chronologically organized. They had to do this report about their research like 3 or 4 weeks into it, after we had gone to the library and they had already done a little bit of individual thinking about what they think about research or their experience. They have to post this in the discussions. There was some points just for doing it, and the students did not have to report to me, but they were there. They were supposed to read it, and this proved very helpful. The reason this also happened because a few years ago, I was the day that we were supposed to meet, because they were supposed to bring these reports to class and just have conversations in class, and I was sick. So I decided, I did not want to wait. I put it on, I decided to do it online, and I realized it was way better because everybody actually had to put something. They addressed the questions, and the students could always go back to see. They answer, sometimes they help each other directly. I could address all the questions also without worrying about having missed something or interrupting them when they were talking, and the students address them among themselves too. So this was 30 points just to do that out of the 150 from the research. It's also, it's do all my assignments, long assignments are scaffolded, whatever you pronounce that word. I know how to do it, I don't know how to say it. So I addressed, and sometimes I actually directed students who were really confused to particular postings. Like, look what Anita said about how she, because a lot of them mentioned, I was totally lost until I talked with the librarian, which I tried to get them to do. And then if I say so, it doesn't matter. But if a student says so, then they go. So that was, for example, one of the, and they mentioned databases that they use. So, and everybody is equal. Everybody's gonna get the points, even if they are confessing that they haven't done anything yet and have to talk about all their good resolutions for the rest of the semester. So I thought that was good, and I thought that this is a lonely project. The research is individual overall, so I think this was also a good way of not feeling so lonely and help them. And some students actually mentioned to me directly that they had done something that somebody else had mentioned.
Can they see each other's info report?
Come again?
Can they see each other's info report?
Yeah, that's why it's in the discussion. That's what it's in the discussion. It's in a discussion. In that the description that I put with is the discussion. It's a snipping of the discussion. Yes.
So just piggybacking off that. So how much interaction did that actually create? Because one thing that I'm thinking about is to what extent do you need to incentivize, have incentives that people actually engage in discussions?
Well,
or to what extent did that just happen naturally?
It happened because I'm not asking them to actually reply.
Yeah.
This is why I'm using this. All of these examples are not the classic discussion online. So they are not required. So I was surprised to see that it happened. With some groups, it happened 2 times. With other groups, it happened 6 times. I had a group where nobody replied to anybody. But they would talk in class about it, or they would mention it to me. They would tell someone, oh, that was very good. Or it helped me. So I did not, they weren't required to do anything but post in the report. And I did not check whether they went and read it and read all of them or not. For kicks, I actually went to see the activity report, but But you know, I can be very active just by clicking in every freaking thing. I know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert in technology, but I know some tricks.
Sort of building off of that, one of the strategies that we started to incorporate into our online, I'm from the library, so we do online library instruction. So when we build this type of wonderful information literacy, like reflection on research practice into online classes, if you choose to do discussion replies, what I'll do is have like a general prompt like this, like what's going well with research, what are your frustrations, and then give make the reply required, but give them reply options. Like one being, okay, do you have a suggestion for one of the people in your group? That can be your reply option. Or do you have any similar frustrations or a database to suggest? You know, that can be another reply option. Or
Questions too.
Yeah, ask
like
questions,
specific questions to other people are also, because I've done online discussions, completely online discussions in other classes. And it's not that,
require, if you're gonna require replies, but give them different pathways that they can go on that will encourage that really useful reflection and like or peer-to-peer teaching.
That's a really good point.
Maybe I should skip the movies one for now, because I think I'm taking too long.
I feel hesitant to say yes, you should, I know, because this is such a good example, but we have two more examples to show. So I think it would be,
I think I'm gonna skip the movie one. Oh no.
I think if you can do that in 2 minutes, you're a fast talker. I think you can do it.
Know, but I also, okay, in case it's not evident, I did not follow my own advice, because every time my students have presentations, I grill into them to freaking practice the presentation, even if it's by yourself with a freaking watch.
You actually,
but I've been too busy.
I do have it on here. So maybe you just do the one you're going to do, and then we'll.
Well, the thing I'm thinking of, because the total peer review where they have to give information, although it's not, they don't have to reply. Her comment made me think of, it's here. It's just after.
Yeah.
So let's move a little bit. Where do I move there? Oh, no, that's okay. I'll move here because, oops, there. This is a different class. This is in Spanish. And in this one, major components are oral, improving the register. They speak Spanish already, but a lot of Spanglish. Which is fine and dandy, but not for academic work. So we want to go to a higher register, and as one of the things that they have to do is individual presentations, oral presentations in class, 5 to 7 minutes. They have to, so usually I give them feedback I grade them and I give them feedback, what they need to change or what they should consider, like if they're saying lunch all the time, or the equivalent in Spanish, or if they move too much and they get people distracted. The time, the organization. I decided a few years ago, because I had an assignment, I had a little control with everybody, asking them about other people's presentations. I was going for the content, just for them to get the idea that you have to listen. But some of them wrote about things that they could have done better, their classmates. I thought, they're gonna tell everybody. So now that is a control, but now they get the points just for freaking doing it. And they do the control in a discussion. And this is the discussion. Oh boy, I have to translate it. So the discussion is, you must post comments about the presentations of all your classmates. You must make suggestions whenever possible. Be nice and honest. The purpose is to help each other out, not to beat each other up. And that's the assignment that is in the syllabus. And I have, well, it doesn't matter. So if I show you, because it's in Spanish. So, well, Magali will know what they say. Because I realized that I put it all in a Word document and took the names out, but they're very good. They're very good at telling them, you repeat or ha, because we talked about these things before. You should prepare better, practice more. They have good comments about the content, always, and sometimes great comments about the actual presentation, but they do point out the things that students need to change. So that has been work. I can see that in the second presentation, they're paying more attention now that other students are telling them. That is not just my little feedback.
Are these comments anonymous?
No,
No, okay.
no, they're not anonymous. No, they're not anonymous, because if you cannot tell your classmate what you think of the presentation and your classmate know your name, I don't want your opinion. That's my personal thinking. That's my personal, like when I've done sometimes anonymous postings, but then it's not about class per se. It's about, I don't know, do you want the teacher to kill herself so you don't have to see her again? You know, about assessing me. Then, okay, I have an authority, I'm an authority figure, whether you believe it or not. And I understand that it may be better to have some anonymity, but no, I don't ask them to do anything. If they cannot tell them who they are, I don't want them to tell them. It has worked. I thought about it when I started doing it. I was like, well, no, I can't. It's just my thing. So maybe we should leave it here.
Sure.
Because the other way that I do it is I do a discussion of movies, different things. They have to watch movies. I just get the questions that they post in there and use them in class. Because again, I was sick. I put the freaking discussion online instead of doing it in class, and all these students who were not saying anything were doing wonderful observations and posting questions for discussions, or posting the questions about what I didn't understand, which I could not get them to do in class, even when I had them in little groups. So I take those questions to class. I address what they don't understand first, and then either in little groups there, I give them some questions, distribute the same questions, and then we put it together, or directly with all of them. Okay, that's gonna be it.